People here in Columbus are turning their ideas into help for those on the front lines of this pandemic. Joe Sam is at the Columbus Idea Foundry to show us how. Good morning, Joe.
Hey, good morning to you, Jess. So yeah, as we all know that the state's getting ready to reopen again, slowly but surely. So there are some inventors really making sure that we're continuing to practice safety protocols when it comes time for the coronavirus outbreak. So there's some really cool inventions that's happening here at the Idea Foundry. We're talking with Mr. Steve here, one of the inventors, and we have a big group of people that have been working on this. Before we even get started, we are practicing our social distancing. You're wearing your mask and your gloves because you're inventing these really cool things here that are also pushing out safety protocols for COVID-19. So tell us what we have here, and then we're going to introduce the team members.
Yeah, so this is, we're Bigger Tuna. We're a product development and engineering firm here at Idea Foundry. We work with inventors and small businesses to rapidly solve problems that are needed and help people create things. So this is a hand washing station. This is actually an emergency hand washing station for the Special Improvements District downtown. These are the folks you see doing security downtown and watering the plants and cleaning up the streets. So they were employed by the city to develop some hand washing stations because there's actually a shortage of these right now in the city.
Wow.
So we put together a plan with, this is Jacob Tasner, he's a designer here at Bigger Tuna, and Frank Marcusic, who is from Ohio Wire Form and Spring Company. Frank helped us put together these quick clamps on here that allowed us to build this station.
And it looks like it's really easy to use as well. So once we get it up and going, you guys are going to have everything going for you. And it has all of the sanitation liquid that we need in there, too. Once you turn this thing around, we have those really huge tubs of sanitation in there to where it's really cool. So let's show that really quickly before we wrap up.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely. So if you spin this guy around to the back, pop this off, you're going to see the tub. So someone will come by. These will be out on the street, and someone in the city will come by and fill it with clean water and then dump out the excess old water that drains from the sink below.
Easy to use, very, very neat. We're going to be talking much more about all of the inventions that they're making here to help fight against COVID-19 at the Idea Foundry. That's all coming up in just a bit. For right now, we're going to send things back to you guys in the studio.
Here in Columbus are turning their ideas into help for those on the front lines of this pandemic. And Joe Sam this morning is at the Columbus Idea Foundry to show us what they're working on.
Hey, good morning to both of you. So, as we all know, a lot of people have been out and about. The most important thing that they've been focusing on are those masks. Some people have been making really stylish masks now, but we have to make sure that we have the importance of those masks to make sure you're safely being contained throughout the whole thing. We're talking to Mr. John J here, who's helping out with that effort and donating those masks. We have our models in the background who also are modeling off some masks this morning, making sure they're protected. Talk about what you're doing to help those that are on the front lines, making sure that they're fighting against COVID-19.
Yeah, sure. Hey, good morning, everybody. So at Willow Works, we are working to donate masks to organizations in the area that need them, but are having a hard time getting their hands on them. So we're offering N95 masks as well as the lower grade disposable type.
And then talk about the N95 masks, because a lot of people have been asking questions about that too, and I think we have some pictures to show of what they look like. What's the importance of those and making sure that people are wearing those correctly and having those going? So you can see them on your screen now.
Yep. So my expertise in the mask specs is minimal. My understanding is that the N95 masks are suitable for health-related work, so caregivers and so forth. The lower grade, more disposable types are, think of it more as a universal use.
Absolutely, and that's what we've been seeing a lot of people wearing now. But you're going to be helping out those who are on the front lines. So talk about the different workers that you're going to be helping. Give these masks out to, making sure that they're protecting themselves as they are fighting against COVID-19.
Yeah, sure. So in discussions with folks around town, what we are hearing is that places like assisted living facilities are having a hard time getting masks. Anyone that's serving the homeless population are at risk. So I'm thinking smaller organizations, not-for-profits, really folks that have always served the community, but have had a hard time getting their hands on masks today.
So the most important question is, how can they get those masks? What can we do and where can we go to get what you're helping out with and the cause for the community?
Yeah, so you can reach us via the website, which is willowworkco.com. There's a submission form there. You can also email us at info@willowworkco.com.
Perfect. So all of that advice, all of the help that they're doing out here at the Idea Foundry can help you as you're going out to take care of your daily needs, or if you're going out to make sure that you're fighting against COVID-19 by helping out the community as well. So when we come back, we're going to be showing you guys some other cool inventions that they're doing here and some other ways that they're helping out people in the community as we fight against the coronavirus. Right now, we're going to send things back to you in the studio as we go and check out what else they have here at the Idea Foundry. Welcome back here to Good Day Columbus. So as we already know, wearing masks in public is super important to your health. And we have been getting a lot of people say how uncomfortable those masks have been, especially if they're wearing them for such a long period of time, which is why we're at the Idea Foundry. We're talking with one of the inventors here, Ms. Kathy Center, who's created something really great for people to use as they're talking about those masks. So let's talk about your invention.
Sure, and I have to say that it's not my invention. It was passed through a Facebook group for CNC users from a gentleman at first they thought Melbourne, Australia, but it's Melbourne, Florida.
And ever since they've seen these, it's been blowing up. People have been giving you requests in, they've been texting you and asking for these extenders.
Absolutely. I saw it posted, and he shared his file. He told us what product that was great for milling, and it's easily available at Home Depot. It comes in 4x8 sheets like plywood. This
Very
is cut
flexible.
down, very, very flexible. But it's a polyolefin plastic, and so it's it's used for areas with high water and germ and things like that. So clean rooms and restaurant food preparations and stuff like that. It's inert, and so it doesn't give mildew and mold and bacteria places to grow.
Absolutely.
So, and it's rather inexpensive. It's like $24 for a 4x8 sheet.
And you have one of these smaller machines at home that you use to make this here. We're actually going to have a demonstration from our model here, Mr. John, to show people how they actually work whenever they're putting them on their head. So walk them through the steps and as he's putting them on.
Sure. If you want to look at one of them, it's about 6 foot long, or 6 foot long, 6 inches long, and it's got lots of little ribs, and it's very flexible, and it starts to, even with the heat from your head, it starts to conform really nice. And when I'm wearing mine, I don't even know it's back there. But he's starting to put one on, and it has the little tines, so it's adjustable for the different kinds of mask lengths that you have, and also the size of people's heads, and also how much hair they have.
Exactly. For those big heads out there and the big hairs, bigger the hair, the closer to God. So also, really quickly, before we wrap up, tell people really quickly where can they find us?
Sure. We've got a Facebook page called Casey's, C-A-S-E-Y-S, Mask Extenders. Or you can also email us. We prefer emails for requests. We're an 8-person volunteer group. There's no charge for the mask extenders. To be able to keep helping people, if people want to donate the postage, we send out everything 2-day priority mail. And we've got requests all over. 80% is in Ohio and all over the country, but healthcare professionals and people.
Perfect.
So CASEYMARIE 0505 at yahoo.com.
Perfect. Really great information. For right now, we're going to send things back to you guys in the studio. Some really cool inventions happening here at the Idea Foundry. We're talking to Mr. Steven right now, who's working on one as we speak. Tell us what you're doing here.
Yes, this is a thermoforming machine. I'm about to demonstrate how we make the top of this lid. This unit is actually a decontamination unit with our partner SMT, Selective Microtechnology. So what happens here is this is for deconning, PPE, and other things. You get a sealed room. You put chlorine dioxide tablets in here. You get out of the room, you add water to it, and then via your cell phone, you turn the fans on. What happens is it pushes chlorine dioxide into the air, sanitizes everything in the air, kills COVID-19, Ebola, whatever you have, this unit will help do that.
Really cool, and that's where I was talking to Mr. Jacob earlier about, just to give people an example of it. It's like a smaller version of when you see those people walking to the little tubes and decompression comes and sanitizes their entire outfit and body, which is really cool. So you're making these machines here, and this is really the smaller machines, but it really does a lot of work. Really powerful machine that you have here.
Yes, it is. And you can put a couple of these units in imagine running a box truck going to the hospital, putting all the masks and the gowns in there, and then using these machines to sanitize everything all at once.
Wow, and that's all being worked out with this vacuum former here that we see at the Idea Foundry. So you're going to see as he's really pushing that in, and you can see how it's making the top of that machine. Wow, really cool stuff there.
Yeah, absolutely. So we actually produce, this piece here is actually this lid. We produce these units here at the Idea Foundry, and we'll be making more of them out of this space.
Really great stuff that you guys are doing. Great job, Mr. Jacob, Mr. Stephen here, working this all out for us and making sure that we're safe and protected against COVID-19. I would want one of these in my own room.
Well, I can get you one.
Yeah, we're going to have to work a way to get that on over to myself. So we're going to be checking out some more cool inventions that they have here at the Idea Foundry, making sure that we're safe and protected from the coronavirus. Right now, we're going to send things back to you guys in the studio.
Welcome back to the 9 a.m. hour of Good Day Columbus, and people in Columbus are turning their ideas into help for those on the front lines to fight this pandemic.
Joe Sam's at the Columbus Idea Foundry to show us how they're helping our community. Joe?
Hey, really great ideas are coming up with Cam and Katie. We're talking with IC3D right now, Ms. Kimberly, Mr. Michael, with these really cool shields that they've created and really helping people on the front lines as well. Talk about the importance of these.
These shields have been critical to help the medical professionals on the front lines of the coronavirus. They've also been helping folks in nonprofits, working in homeless shelters, as well as funeral directors. Those are a group you don't normally think about. We've also sent these to the Native American tribes around the country.
Wow. And then let's show it to the camera too, kind of like model it out and talk about how you get these things together using your 3D printing.
So we 3D print the visor piece. But we have to go source the plastic sheet shield and the elastic strap and a foam comfort guard. So those things have to be sourced other ways. But we have activated 150 makers in Central Ohio to help us print these. And their printers are humming around the clock. And we give them discounted filament, which is the ink for the printer, the ink for the 3D printer. And we assemble them in our shop, and then we distribute them around the country.
Perfect. Now, I'm going to ask you, Mr. Michael, to try and put that on and see, just to show people how it looks once it's on your head. There you go. Look how neat that is. So that's a really great protection against any types of germs from other people and from yourself.
That's right. These are really important, and there have been a critical shortage of these on the front lines of COVID. So we're delighted to be able to help and help our makers give their gift, pull that forth to the world. And we're just a small 3D printing company here in Columbus, Ohio, and we saw the need to jump in and be available to use our skills and talents in whatever way we could.
And you've been doing so we see your different designs, like this beautiful head down here. And now you've been transforming that talent into something really productive that people can use as protectants against COVID-19. Really great work that you've been doing here with IC3D. For people who want to learn more about your organization, how you're helping people fight off COVID-19, where can they go to find that information?
They can go to ic3dprinters.com.
Absolutely great stuff, Mr. Kimberly, Miss Kimberly, Mr. Michael. I'm switching up their titles here. Great work that you're doing here on the front lines. Also working to help out people fight off COVID-19. I'm going to have to get one of these shields for myself because it's going to be great for whenever they do start to slowly reopen all of these services for people out there. For right now, we're going to go ahead and send things right on back as we continue to celebrate what people are doing here to fight COVID-19.
Yeah, a lot of creative juices flowing at the Idea Foundry. Thank you, Joe.
Welcome back here to Good Day Columbus. We've been helping you with all different types of solutions on how to protect yourselves against COVID-19, and that's why we're at the Idea Foundry right now. We're talking to Mr. Dar, Mr. Alex here with the Factory Finder to see what you guys are doing to help against this effort. So tell us a little bit about what you have going on.
Yeah, hey, thank you so much. We're a Factory Finder. I'm actually a physician, a surgeon, and Alex here has been with Factory Finder doing some sourcing with another partner of ours. They have factories that they trust in China, an agent in China, Mr. Bruce Lee, owner and founder of Best One. who is our agent in China that can get authentic masks for us, FDA approved, which is really what we need.
Right.
They asked me to come in and help because like I said, I'm a physician, understand the masks and understand that the people on the front line need the PPE and are desperate for it.
Absolutely.
That includes doctors, and also Alex used to work in the transit agency, and transit workers also need it. And so we're trying to gather masks, as many as we can, hundreds of thousands, millions, and that's what we're doing at Factory Finder.
So where are you at now as far as the effort that you're going through? Have those masks been collected, or are you still at a different goal that you're trying to reach? Where are you at this current point?
We have masks that are already being shipped to various transit agencies and other people. We have a shipment of 100,000 that's coming over, and we're currently in the process of getting a supplier supplied with almost 2 million masks, N95 masks. So those are the ones that filter 95% of those particles.
The ones that we really need.
The ones that we really
the ones
need.
that are on the front line. So for really quickly, for people who are on the front line and looking to get advice and information from you two, where can they go to find out more information?
Factoryfinder.com is our website, and you can find information. You can find our contact information there, and give us an email or give us a shout out on factoryfinder.com. And we will we'll get you hooked up. We'll get you squared away.
Mr. Dar, Mr. Alex, thanks again for joining us with the Factory Finder. Sorry you couldn't do too much speaking, Mr. Alex. We have to keep our 6 feet apart from each other, which is what we're doing. We're going to have much more for you when Good Day Columbus returns.